Word. All right. Hey everyone, another edition of Q&A with Jim and Jim, but it's everybody, not just us. So I appreciate you guys jumping on here every other week. So it's fun doing this. I'm recording, so if you're on, great. If you can turn your cameras on, it's always nice to actually see everyone's faces and just talking to a blank screen. So if you're on, turn your camera on. This is totally free flowing. We just whatever's been happening the last week or two in our storage lives, we can talk about any certain questions, comments, news. Cool. Bring it up, raise your hand, put it in comments. We'll bring you up and we'll chat. We'll do this for an hour. Top of the hour, we'll cut it off and we'll see you here in 2 weeks. So thank you for coming on again, guys. It's great to see everybody.
Hey, Jim, you know there's 89 days till Christmas, right?
Shut up. That sounds horrible.
88.
No, no, I don't even think about that. No, thank you.
Did I tell you what I did to Jim Ferguson? So last year I had the privilege of being at Ann Ballard's Christmas party, and I was there with Jim and his wife, and Brooke was saying she wanted another Christmas tree for the house, and Jim's like, no. I'm like, yeah, that'd be great, and kept going, and so when we went to Vegas, I went on Amazon and shipped a Christmas tree to his house.
Did you really? You get invited all the fun stuff. You go to these storable things, you're going to Christmas parties.
Yeah.
I'm the black sheep. I get invited to nothing. All right.
Well, you got to be out there, dude. You know?
I'm the digital version of being out there, so that works. Travel's not my style. Although I'll be traveling a lot this month. I don't know what's going on with management. I've gotten Ohio and Texas. I haven't managed in Texas for a long time. All of a sudden it's like bam, 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 all in Texas. So
we got coming up. We got the new store we just bought in Kansas. I got the meeting out there. Then I'll be speaking in Georgia, South Carolina in the first weekend in October. We got the Mid-Atlantic Conference in Allentown with Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. We got almost 500 attendees coming, so it should be a great show. If anybody's in that market, don't miss it. And then I got asked to speak in Texas and Austin in late October.
Cool.
So,
you know what you're speaking on?
Dave Cooper and I are kind of rehashing the day in the life of the manager.
Oh, there you go.
So well that they want some more on it. We're talking, just stuff like that and comparing notes, and so it'll be cool.
That's always fun. Right.
And then Damon and I are speaking in Mid-Atlantic, and we've got a topic that other states have already called us saying, hey, next year we want you to come out with it. It's don't let fear impede your success.
Fear of what?
Just fear in general, and people not wanting to test new products and not wanting to make things and requirement and all those things. And well, I mean, Jim, how many times have you heard it? Well, no, we can't charge an admin fee because nobody else is doing it, or no, we can't charge a protection plan or insurance because they don't want it, or no, we can't require them to buy a lock because I told you I did an audit a couple years ago, and about 30% of the units did not have a lock on them, but there was stuff in the units. And I'm like, that's a major liability for you as an owner.
No kidding.
So, well, they won't come put a lock on. What do? You send them a letter, and in 24 hours, they don't put a lock on it. You put a lock on it and charge them for it.
Mm-hmm.
And either you mail them the key, which we used to do all the time, or now we switched out, Jim. We're using Chateau sells a 6650, a changeable combination lock. Okay. So all we do is we use that. So we'll set the combo to the last 4 of your phone number, take the key out of the lock and put it back in the package, put the package in the unit. We'll lock the door, put the lock on the door, we'll put a seal tag on it so we know we were the last ones in there. Yeah. And then when you come down there, if you want to change the combinations, you free will.
Oh.
But for us, it was easier than that to do that. No, I say Olivia just said, what if the units are locked open? Olivia, we got a really good one. We have a letter that says, hey, we found your unit locked open. If you don't come take care of it in 24, 48 hours, whatever window you want to put in there, we're going to cut the lock off, and then we're going to resecure with a new lock and charge you for it. And I got questions. I mean, We find that I was just doing a walkthrough with a guy in North Carolina yesterday, and we were talking about locked open. He goes, "Oh, I never find them," and the very next unit was locked open.
Yeah.
And I got mad at him because he put an overlock on the locked open unit. I'm like, "Didn't you see this when you put?"
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I just put the lock on anyway. No,
That serves no purpose.
serves no purpose. So yeah, I mean, it's how you manage and how you run those things. So I mean, it's been cool, but and that way every unit's locked. I mean, in our world, Jim, it's either a lock, a lock. It's lock, customer lock. It's got if it's a vacant unit, it's got either a yellow tag or a Da Vinci lock for those ones. So
Yeah.
every one of our units is secure. Same
Wow.
in your world.
It's like you're actually running a proper self-storage facility. It's supposed to be secure? What? Novel concept.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I think it's great. Any other comments or questions? Go ahead and jump on in, guys, or put it in chat. We'll bring you up. Want to take 5 minutes? I want to humor me for a second because you know me and the AI crap. I love doing this. I want to just showcase something real quick that I think you guys will like. It's kind of fun to play with. Chat GPT. You guys have messed with that at all? Just came out with their updated voice. It's insane. It's insane.
You
And
make it sound like anybody you want.
not yet. Not yet. But yeah, they have plenty of choices.
Yeah, I would make it sound like Scarlett Johansson for me. So
Well, they did for a while until she sued them. And said,
Olivia, why are you laughing?
"Can't use my voice."
Come on.
I mean, out of all the names you would have said, that just wasn't what I was expecting, and I just thought it was funny.
Okay, so who are you expecting?
I don't know, like maybe The Rock or like Kevin Hart.
Well, actually, the reason Scarlett Johansson is because she was the voice of in the movie Her that they kind of based the AI stuff off of. That's what kind of started the whole
That's
thing.
That's not why I did that, but yeah, okay.
Isn't it? So you just pulled that out of your hat. All right, cool.
Yep.
See, I
So
said,
she's gorgeous, and he wants to sound like a gorgeous woman.
Especially when she's a redhead.
anyway, real quick. Excuse me. Didn't catch that in time. But no, I was going with the California Self-Storage Association, a few weeks ago, and they were doing like these avatar trainings and things like that, which is cool. Kind of put you in scenarios where you're talking to customers and doing role plays and things like that. Great. I'm like, cool, but we can do this now with this open AI. I just figured give me 5 minutes, like kind of
Yeah.
it's what it does. So hold on. Dun, dun, dun. So again, if you don't know, ChatGPT, just get the app. To get in that advanced voice, you do have to pay the $20 a month. So, but trust me, it's worth it. So hold on.
While you're bringing that up, I'm going to Olivia. How did you make out after our last time with the going back to the owners with the ranking and where your store was ranking? Have you got it fixed or any better results?
Great question. I wish I could give you an answer. Things are still the same.
Well, if you ever want to
I'm
talk
not
more,
throwing anyone under the bus for the record. Like, I did my part, and that's that. I'm still trying. I literally, it's funny you ask because I did the property wide yard sale. I stood out on that curb for 7 hours with a sign, just waving it and dancing like an idiot, getting people into this property. And I managed to get at least one new tenant out of it.
All right. So where's the video of you waving the sign?
There's no video, but I have a picture. I could show you the picture. Because I put it up on our Instagram. I'm thinking about like doing so, like to have my tenants like reward them, like to give them $5 off if they decide to follow us on Instagram, for a month or something like that. But I don't know if you could see it, but there's me out on the street.
Fantastic.
So people can honestly not say that I'm not trying.
Oh, there you go. All
Gotta love the hustle. Gotta love it. That's
right,
awesome.
Jim, let's see what you got.
Right. Take a drink real quick.
And then when we come back, we got a question from Mitchell when you
Yeah,
do the
cool.
empty video.
Yeah, I just want to kind of showcase this to kind of broaden your minds a little bit, especially if you're doing new manager training, things like that, kind of role play. It's kind of fun. So anyway. Hey, Sam, you there?
I'm here. What can I help with today?
Guys hear that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doing a Q&A session here. Got a bunch of people watching us talk live. I want to kind of do that role play where you're the manager and I'm a customer giving you a call about maybe getting a storage unit.
Absolutely. I'm ready when you are. Just say the word.
Cool. All right. Ring, ring.
Thank you for calling XYZ Storage. This is Sam. How can I help you today?
Yeah, just calling around, see if you have any units available.
Great. Let me pull up my current inventory real quick. We'll make this simple and easy for you. May I ask your name?
That's Jim.
Hi, Jim. While I'm pulling this up for you, have you ever used storage before?
No, I haven't.
That's the best question.
No worries. Here at XYZ Storage, we have electronic gate access and 24-hour video surveillance to make our facility very safe and secure for you. We always guarantee that your space will be very clean and well maintained as well.
Okay.
I have our inventory pulled up for you. I want to help you choose the right size unit so you're not paying for more space than you need. Can you give me a brief description of what you are storing?
Uh, just a couple bedrooms worth of stuff. 2-bedroom apartment.
Got it. A 10 by 10 unit should work perfectly for a 2-bedroom apartment's worth of items. It's spacious enough to accommodate your needs. We also have some great deals for our new customers. Would you like to hear about them?
Sure.
Right now, we're offering a special discount for new customers. If you reserve a unit today, you'll get a reduced rate on your first month's rent. Plus, we can complete the rental process over the phone or online, whichever is more convenient for you. How does that sound?
Sounds all right. I'm still just kind of just checking around prices and just calling around. So
That's great. I'd love to send you a confirmation of what we talked about with our price, our location, and the discount. What's your cell number? I'll text you that quote so you can take advantage of the move-in special I mentioned.
it's 801-555-5555.
Perfect. Thank you, Jim. I'll send that over to you right away. Do you have any further questions for me?
Any other kind of
If any-
fees I need to worry about?
We strive to be transparent with our pricing. The rate we discussed includes all standard fees. Just keep in mind there might be a one-time administrative fee when you first rent the unit. Other than that, we keep things simple.
All right, cool. Sounds like a plan. Thanks.
You're welcome, Jim. Thank you for calling XYZ Storage. Have a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Kind of cool, huh?
Cool, but I'm going to ask you a couple questions on that right now.
Yeah.
One, I love the fact that the first question was, have you ever used storage before? That's the question I train everybody on. But when you asked about the fees, why did she say there may be a one-time admin fee? Why didn't you just come out and say there was one?
And I didn't train her to say that there's always a fee. I just totally threw that in there.
Oh, okay. I just asked, but that's something you can train them to do. Absolutely cool.
No, here, I'll show you real quick. I literally did about 10 minutes before we jumped on here. That's the first time I've had that discussion with them. I was kind of doing it on the fly. But I literally just went in. This is kind of like my sales framework. I hate saying script. It's more of just like a framework for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, hey, I call the AI Sam. I try to give it a name. And I said, hey, when we're building report and value, say this phrase. Great. We're going to pull up my current inventory, make it simple and easy for you. So you caught that. She said that. I asked your name. while I'm pulling this up, have you used storage before? Then you can start talking about the features and benefits. Qualified what they need. Probably get more detail on that one next time. But literally, I said, same thing. And, if they don't want to reserve it right now over the phone, rent right now, make sure you ask for their phone number to be able to text them what you had talked about, discounts, and it gives you an opportunity to follow up.
So
That was literally the training I gave it, and it took about 30 seconds worth of training, and then that was the first go around of talking. So it's pretty fun. So it'd be a great tool to kind of be able to use for current managers, training other managers, doing role plays. You
The
can
devil's
type
advocate,
in
why wouldn't you ask
customer.
for the phone number earlier in it?
What's that?
Why wouldn't you ask for the phone number earlier in the conversation?
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
And then at the end, if they don't want to reserve, hey, can I send you a text or an email? That'd be cool. But no, it'd be very interesting. Now, will you be able to? I'm sure you'll be able to capture data on that. It'd be very interesting to find out how many people have you ever used storage before. Answer yes or no to see how that compares with what the industry trend still says.
Yep. And I don't care what people say. Oh, I've used storage before. Oh yeah, you've used storage before, so I'm sure you're aware. Same thing we hear. We have drive up access. You still say it. Because again, we all know the guy down the street, if they're calling, they don't say that stuff. They just blur out a size and the unit number or price, and that's it.
Cool.
So anyway, this got me thinking, be kind of a cool tool to use. You can do it for anything, play scenarios when people are calling, hey, you sold my stuff at an auction, bastards, what are you gonna, that kind of stuff. Cool. Role play, talk about it. They're complaining about the rate increases. Okay, go through it a few times before the actual customer calls. It's just kind of a cool training tool. I'm gonna start using it and talking more about it, but something I wanted to put on your guys' radar. It's kind of fun.
Cool. So
right.
Mitchell had a question for us.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Oh no, he said he's got a question. So I figured he'd hop on.
Yeah, no, thanks guys for letting me chime in here. So all of my locations are all remote managed. I've recently let go of a guy he went to a different job. He was my customer service rep, and now it's kind of like I'm in this position where it's like, do I hire kind of, US based call center person? We don't have any offices at any of our locations. Or do I kind of go the VA route and and go that direction? Both are open at this point, but my question is really, how are you guys? Do you guys have kind of like have you built out your own personal like standard operating procedures for each of your customer service people? Are you doing like a combination of like SOPs with like Loom videos and like training them? Basically, my goal here is as we acquire new facilities, I either put a VA in place and it's like, here's the intro packet, go through this. Once you get done with that, then we'll start the physical or the let's say it's Zoom training and move forward there. I'm trying to streamline my operations.
I can tell you for me, Mitchell, we run hub and spokes. We have 29 stores. I have 4 offices. So this last week, we just picked up a store in Junction City, Kansas, right? So we were able to drop that store into one of my existing hubs. And the guy who's running my Manhattan, Kansas location, which is like 35, 40 minutes away, is going to be my boots on the ground guy. So for me, it was the software transition wasn't seamless. But as far as dropping a new store into an existing hub that already has my established protocols and they have an operating manual and procedures, it was seamless for us because we could just pick up. They knew exactly what they had to do. They knew how to work the customers. They knew how to do all their letters and all that stuff. So it just made life simple.
Okay, so for example, in that situation, you already have like calls are just coming into your main office, and that's just your spoke location. Okay.
Yep.
Shoot.
How many
Now,
locations do you have again?
What's that, Jim?
How many locations do you have?
Me?
No.
Mitchell.
oh yeah, so we've got I'm doing quite a bit of building right now, but we've got 5 locations. Everything's remotely managed. And I had one guy answering all the calls on that. And
Yeah.
now it's like kind of pivoting to either a VA style or maybe just one operations guy, and then
Gotcha.
yeah,
I know plenty of people that are doing that kind of model. They're kind of in that same position you are right now, and you're at 5, so you're kind of on that teeter
yeah,
of, if I have one person or I hire 2 or 3, then that's almost overkill for what you have.
yeah,
You really are. So at 5, still one person can really handle that, especially if you're in the same time zone. That's kind of another
yeah.
fact. Once you get about 8 locations, and it's like, okay, now you can start getting 2 or 3 VAs. That's I've talked to. In fact, I had an hour meeting on Monday with someone because I want to learn how their operations work, and they have 30, and they're operating with 3 VAs,
Oh wow, that's
and
actually good
they
perspective to
they
hear.
stagger. If you want, you can always talk to me later on. I can kind of maybe point you at a few people that are doing that.
Yeah,
Talk to them, but I've just seen the VAs exploding lately
yeah.
with that, and the English speaking, and they're doing it that way, paying
In
them.
a, in a, and when you say that in a good way, right? Like in
Yeah,
terms of, yeah, okay, gotcha.
totally.
Yeah.
And it just comes down to making sure if you have 5 locations, especially as you're growing, and if you haven't done it already, you just have to standardize everything, the fees, the structures, the due dates,
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. Put it in writing, making sure they're all in the same software, doing the Loom videos as things come up, and yeah, just having that package together. Uh, just will otherwise, yeah, you do everyone a disservice if you're kind of doing things a little different at different locations. So you
Yeah.
gotta have that standard. But
Absolutely.
right now for 5, you could probably get away with one person that you just train.
Well, how big are the 5, Mitchell?
Yeah. So, I mean, when we're done with development here, there'll be about 5 locations, about 1,500 units.
Yeah. Yep, totally. And then what I would envision, you keep that one person, train them up, and then as you grow, they become your point of contact to training other people. So they're kind of like the go-to when it comes to training other reps, other things like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's
All
not
right.
too.
Well, that kind of confirms the route I'm going. I was like, man, I'm so hesitant on doing the whole VA thing, but I had a, US based person, and it kind of was like you said, I'm right on that like tipping point of like
Yeah.
just not enough yet to like really pay someone. But honestly, it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go down the VA route, and I'd love that connection or resource on whoever's doing like 30, because I mean that's where we're trying to get to. So um it'd be
Go,
good to see some like proof of concept.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
go,
No, the
go,
VA is
go
great. Go ahead, Jim.
I would say just go to my website, want to book a time. That way we can have a little more
Okay.
one-on-one with you, and I'm happy to kind of give you a
Yeah.
little more of the details on that.
Okay.
It's not, for me, it's nice. I have the bigger store, so I have the office space, so I can staff my offices there, and then I can be at the property and everything funnels through there, so I don't need the VA. We've looked at doing something offline. We have a call center backing us up everywhere. We're at that point where do we do our own call center? Do we have our own offshore call center? We had lots of conversations this week about who's doing what with that. The language barrier sometimes, it's always better for me when I have people in house that I can just do my own. But when you're at that point in time, you're right. You're on that verge.
Now, real quick before I let you go, what would be a good call routing service to, for example, XYZ location calls that pops up to VA? They know that location with the knowingness that this is hopefully going to be, a 30 site portfolio. What would be that tool? Just so I'm not jumping back and forth. That's like my worst. I hate that.
Oh, I'll give you 2, just because I'm always like to have options, and you make your own big boy decision because you talk to both. You got call potential, because that's what you're kind of talking about is when they're calling, they're routing, it's popping up saying this is from this location type of a thing.
Yep.
Works in conjunction with the storage software, all that kind of stuff. That's the big boy in the industry. So it's call potential. The other one that I'm seeing people use is Dial-Pad. Um, it's
Yep.
another good router like that. but it looks pretty. I'm such a UI guy. It has to look pretty and all that kind of stuff. Same kind of functionality. Maybe it doesn't work as well directly with the software.
Yeah.
Pros and cons to anything, but that's kind of the two I've seen operators in the industry use.
Yeah, I mean, especially as you're growing, Mister, you want to make sure whatever you put in place now can grow with you. That way you're not have to, well, I'll do this for now, and then all of a sudden later you're like, oh no, I got to change this, and I'm like, yeah, that's not right. So
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to, that's why I'm like, I gotta, and it's the same thing with the PMS. I'm like, man, I just want to stick with one horse and ride it out. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just, cubby or storage. And it's just like, dude, I'm done. Like, I just want to just go. It's like, it's all the shiny objects, but no, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys.
Of course. Like I said, if you go to 3milestorage.com, you can book a time. I'm happy to get more one-on-one with you on that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And then someone asked about that framework I laid out for the phone calls. I just dropped it in chat. So if you want to, feel free to download it.
Okay. So there's another question. Michael's got a question for Jim, but which Jim, Michael?
Either both.
Doesn't matter.
I know you both. Good to see you both. First time on this Q&A, so figured I might as well contribute. I'm on the vendor side of things, so any one-on-one call that I have, I always ask this question, but would love to hear what you two are seeing in your organizations. What's the biggest challenge right now that your team's going through? And that's a very purposely broad question, but like, what are the biggest pain points or biggest areas of opportunity for your teams right now?
How about staffing? Could be one. Staffing's a big one. I mean, it's such a broad question, but I mean, right now hiring is, Jim, I would say is probably up there, right? Hiring's got to be your biggest headache.
Oh, always has, always will be. That's just there's no, hence why I love the robots. Don't have to worry about staffing. But until we get to that point, it always is. Like especially if we're going back to the remote stuff we're talking about, you still got the boots on the ground guys. And that's always kind of a tricky thing as well, because you can only have so many hours for those people to doing that kind of work. So you got to kind of be flexible and have another job and doing that kind of thing. So that's my main one is boots on the ground, maintenance positions. It's probably my biggest pain point, just because there's only so many hours I can offer. And when you're that limited, it kind of lessens your talent pool that you can draw from at times too. So
funny you brought that up, Jim. I had a call with somebody this week, and we were talking about, boots on the ground and how many hours, what works, what not work.
Yeah.
And I met somebody that said, and I said, oh, you got a 400 unit property, nothing, no elevators, no upstairs, no, just a 400 unit property. I said, what are you averaging your hours for that property for a week for boots on the ground, walkthroughs, lock checks, the whole 9 yards?
Yeah.
And they told me maximum 5 hours a week. And I looked at them like they had 3 heads. And I'm like, you cannot tell me that you can get everything done you want to get done in 5 hours in a week.
And how big of a site?
300 to 400 units.
No. Okay.
I don't know about you, but for us, we're even though my smallest properties, we're 15 to 20 hours a week, because like you said earlier, to get a quality type person that's looking for something part-time, I can't go lower than 15 hours a week or 20. And I know that there's days I'm probably paying a person to be walking around picking up, but I also like the fact that all my boots on the ground, whatever you want to call them, all wear shirts, the bright, neon pink, neon yellow, orange, whatever, that have the logo on the front and say staff on the back. They're visibly walking around the property, picking up trash, wiping down doors, all those things. That way the customers know that A, they belong there, and B, we have a presence on the site.
Okay, that brings me to one other question. We've kind of talked about this back and forth the last few weeks, knowing that they're on the site, doing that kind of accountability of. So when they're there, what are they doing to say, hey, I'm here, I'm working, taking pictures, showing the walkthrough reports?
Well, so they're doing, first of all, we use paychecks for our payroll.
Yeah.
And because 90% of our remote properties have a computer on site, whether it's in a house, whatever, with a computer and scanner and printer, they have to punch in on site. They cannot punch in remotely.
Yeah.
You
that's
got to
nice.
punch in, punch out on site. Gate logs show they're in. And on our cameras, we can see they're there. And again, one thing we talk about very well in our interview process is trust is a very, very fickle thing. You have our trust until you lose it. So we're going to, think about it, Jim, we're hiring people to run properties all over the country, right?
Yeah.
We have to empower and trust the people we're going to have working with, that they're going to do what we want them to do. Are they going to do it exactly we want it? Probably not. But we tell people all the time, if you lose our trust, it's done. So finding the people that, we believe in, and we want to empower them, and we give them that trust. Yes, have I been burned? Absolutely. I just had a guy just vanish on me in Ohio, just up and vanished.
We all have, yeah.
But the percentage of people that I had that are quality, I'll give you an example. I just got a guy, one of my managers, he's always looking for more and more and more. I said, look, you can find me another property in that area that you can cover. So he sent us one 6 months ago that was a part of the deal, and it didn't work, but now one of them came back. So I told the partner, said, we got to give him a finder's fee. I just got a text from him thanking me, and all I did was send him a $500 check. And he goes, oh my God, I can't believe you guys did that for me. Thank you very much. That means the world. When you can build that trust and value with your, even, whether it's a 5-hour person or a $100,000 employee working for you, when you build that trust and you can build that relationship,
Yeah.
goes a long way. Because look, Jim, not everybody's motivated by money. Some people like to pat on the back. Some people want, when you walk in, hey, I bought you lunch, here's a pizza, or hey, here's a gift card to go out, or the younger generation, they want a gift card to Amazon or whatever it is. Find out what motivates your staff and use it.
Younger generation, we all like Amazon. Come on.
But in the long run, think about it, Jim.
I know. Yeah.
If you can empower somebody and they know they're valued, they're going to do a better job.
Totally. Yeah, just real quick, I was kind of setting you up too here, Patrick. I see you on here. We were talking about the accountability and the boots on the ground guys. Go ahead if you've got 2 seconds. You want to talk about the upcoming webinar you guys have going on for Spare Box?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Michael, I'm on the vendor side, and I appreciate the shout out, Jim&Jim. You guys are supporters of us, so I like to jump in and support you guys in your webinars. But yeah, here in a couple of weeks, we are doing our RAFA, which is our remote field app. And so really what it is it's a accountability tool that's all done via a tablet, soon to be mobile device. And so every action that a manager does on site for walkthroughs, rent rolls, brand standards, so pictures of the actual facility, audits, everything is done seamlessly and integrated into your property management software. And so really unique tool. I know Jim&Jim are both testing it out at some of their properties. And it's just giving operational visibility, the trust but verify. You're able to actually verify that things are being done. And then you also have an archive of all of the different things outside of just the rent roll, but tasks for customers calling in, all of those kind of things. So we'll be diving deep into the technology that we have used at Sparebox Storage's 110 properties for the last 4 years. And so we're bringing that to the market, and we've been getting a ton of really good feedback from the market and how it's performing. So I'll make sure and drop the link to that webinar if anybody is interested in viewing it, because we see it as a very vital tool moving forward for all different models for storage.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, go ahead and drop that link in the chat. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, Patrick, we've been testing it, and we, Bill and your Will, right? Every time we have a call, I'm like, okay, I got a list of things I want to see, and they're like, okay, we know you do. But it's been nice, and having the brand standard specifically has been valuable that we can take a picture of the Dropbox and the gates and the weeds and all that stuff. So anything technology wise that takes that next step. Look, we're interrupting Olivia's lunch.
Way to call her out.
I had to top screen. Anything we can do to help improve that is fantastic. So,
Right. Cool. Yeah. There you go.
October 17th. That's a dude that's in the middle of the Mid-Atlantic Conference. You got to change the date.
Too late now.
Might be a little late. Well,
That's the
I
weekend.
will. I'll let Bill know, and he needs to do some more sleuthing before booking his webinars. You know.
Welcome to trade show seasons. Like, just pick a date and stick with it. You're gonna interrupt something from anyone.
Yeah, no.
That's how it goes. Any other questions, comments? Go ahead and jump in, guys. I had one that I hadn't had in a while. That, again, I got my thoughts on it, but it was concern from a owner I'm doing a consulting gig with, and it was for doing the online auctions. And I used to get the same thing, the same concern when I was doing live auctions too. It doesn't matter. And it comes down to what happens when they have ringers. They're bidding on their own unit, whether it's them or a family member. Like, they're just trying to screw me out of my money that they owe me, and they're just gonna bid out on it and get it for $20 when they owe me 400. Do you have another thing to say besides that's just the name of the game?
Let them go, and then if they do that, I mean, that's where I say I'm going to send a balance of collection anyway. So I'm going to try and get them anyway.
Yeah.
So now, and speaking of that, my auction just got off today. We just had my store called me right before we hopped on, and she said, "Hey, that lady who bought 2 units last month and cherry picked them and took her shit and took what she wanted and left, and that we blocked, just bought 2 more units." Okay, call auction, tell them we're not taking that bid. We don't want it.
Just curious, if it was blocked, how do they rebid?
They created another account.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, but in that case, Jim, let them go. Let them have it. They think they won. Let them go. You'll get your unit back. You send the balance of collections and be done with it.
Yep, that's same thing I tell them. But yeah, I just haven't had someone say that to me in a little while. It just came up yesterday actually. I'm like, oh, all right, bring this up. I just remember all the time when I was doing the live auctions back in the day that I had to kick people out, because they were physically there, trying to be all wearing the ball cap down and, trying to be all in disguise. I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I know who you are, bidding on the units. And that happened a few times, but now with of course, everyone's online.
Tell you what, I would rather do online. Online for me is so much better. We get so much better results. And with the integration now with the storage auctions storageauctions.com has with the PMSs where it pulls everything over. All you got to do is upload the pictures. It makes, the chance of error is so much fewer. And the fact that, like in Utah, if it's snowing in October, which it has done in the past, you can still have your auction and not worry about it, because there was nothing worse than scheduling an auction and it rained the hammers of hell and nobody showed up.
Yeah. I actually just transitioned all my sites over to storage auctions too, just because of that connectivity. Same thing we were talking about before, just having things seamlessly talk to each other. Cool. I'm all in if you can do that.
I say it all the time, work smarter, not harder.
That works. All right. We got
Olivia's, what does that feature cost extra money? What, the integration with that?
Yeah, like with SiteLink and storage auction.
100% part of the package. And if you do it right, and specifically in SiteLink, when you schedule your auctions, if you schedule your auctions in SiteLink, use the schedule auction feature, it will pull over every unit that's an auction for that month. So it'll pull over the unit, the auction date, everything like that. And then customer's name, the amount owed, the unit size, everything. All you really need to do is upload the pictures and make sure everything matches, and you're good.
And does that also fill in like when you sent out your lien and everything?
It does not. They are working on some of that integration now. They're working with some of the enhancements now for that. But they also have storage auctions also has their timeline guarantee, which if you put the wrong dates in there, it'll flag it saying, hey, these dates don't match the timeline.
I do that all the time, and I have to call them just about every month that I accidentally put the wrong date in. I think they're pretty used to me by now.
Are you using the schedule auction feature in SiteLink?
I mean, I send out the schedule auction letters.
No. In SiteLink, you can. So in SiteLink, you know how when you're in there, it'll have the color codes for all these. It'll tell you can actually set it where it says schedule auction. So on the auction reminder screen will be there, and it'll show you what units are in auction. But if you do that right and set them as you go forward, it'll start pulling it all over for you.
I'm gonna look into this because we are being rained out currently by this hurricane. So don't give me something to do today.
If you want to have an offline conversation, let me know.
Okay.
But yeah, anybody that's not using, and I don't care whether it's LockerFox, StorageAuctions.com, Storage Treasures. Who am I missing, Jim? There's a couple more.
Bid 13 comes to mind.
Bid 13. If you're not using one, and again, it's interesting because certain companies work better in certain markets. And I know when Jim Ferguson was with Sam, they were using multiple auction vendors because in certain markets, they had a stronger presence.
Yeah.
But find one that works and stick with it. I mean, I have one across all my stores. It works well. We have a good relationship. And then, I know I told you we use Late Delene to schedule, do all our auction letters, which has been a godsend for us because they take all the headache out, sending the letters, getting the ad ready for us, doing all that stuff that, again, using technology to work smarter, not harder. And I just pass that cost right through the auction process. So
if you don't mind, let's just bring it up real quick. If you know the number off the top of your head, like what's the average additional cost per unit?
I think you'd have to go with Andy Greenberger, but I think it's an extra $12 or $15 a unit when they take a unit for you. And all I did was change my lien fee from 100 to 125. Michael said 12 per tenant. Yeah. I'm sorry, Michael said 12. We changed our lien fee from 100 to 125 to cover that cost. And so if somebody goes on and pays the unit, so there are times where you're going to lose a little bit if it goes to auction, but for most part, they pay for it. If I send 5 letters out, I charge extra $25 and I pay them 12, I'm making money. And they're doing all the work for me. And they integrate, I know they integrate well with SiteLink, and I believe they integrate pretty well with storage, I think.
They do, yep.
But for me, and the fact that they will indemnify you to $1 million if it's a wrongful sale, I actually pay them. They actually do my ad for me, Jim. So they write my auction ad and send it to the papers. Now I have to pay a little 5%, whatever, on the auction paper if I got to go to paper. Yeah. But if it's not a paper one, they give it back to me and I just post it right on StorageAuctions.com in the ads, and I'm done.
Yep. Again, it comes down to what we were talking about before, just having your SLPs in line. And that's just one of those things where it streamlines everything and makes it more efficient for a little bit of a cost. And if it lessens your liability, cool. I'm all in because, yeah, 1 or 2 extra sites sometimes is all it takes to just start being like, oh my gosh, it's just more work and more work. And it doesn't take much to screw something up in the auctions.
Well, think about it. How many times do you go to approve an auction ad and the paper never ran because they didn't pay the bill?
Oh, yeah.
So with them doing it and them paying the bill, the ads run every month. Now, thankfully, more states have come down to not having to do paper ads. But I know in Pennsylvania, I still got to do one. In certain states, I still got to do one. So the ones I have to, it works.
Yeah, no, that's great. We got about 8 minutes left, guys. So speak now or jump in. Otherwise, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. But
somebody's got to have a good question. Who's got a good question for Friday?
Go ahead. I need a cough.
Anybody?
I'm alive.
We can just pick on somebody, Jim, ask them a question.
No, we're not that mean. No, it's all good. Anyway, I'm going to Texas here 2 weeks.
What part?
Suburb of Dallas. And it's one of those things where we were talking about this before. Very rough, rough kind of area, dealing with break-ins and things like that. He's kind of at his wit's end, frankly, on stuff. That's why he's like looking for management. It's like, just do what you need to do, kind of a thing. So anyway, we talked about this 2 weeks ago with the lights and the siren and the voice activation, that kind of thing. So that's the first thing I'm putting in. So again, I'm learning from you guys as much as we're all doing this together. So
You'll have to let me know how the siren goes. I'm really curious about that certain properties.
Yeah, no, I will. That's the first thing I
You
got.
have a link for that siren?
What's
'Cause
that?
ever since that call, I've had like my eye on a mosquito repellent that is actually like noise that you cannot stand. So if you have a link for a siren, I am all in, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll find it.
We actually had a guy I talked to last week that didn't want to go that route, but he wound up putting up, and he's supposed to send me the link. I haven't got it from him yet. He put up really big solar lights that are motion activated on his fence line. And he said, scares the hell out of people when they walk by it. So, you know, that's another route you can go, that, you know, maybe not a siren, but a big ass light that comes on. So we did well. I tell you what, when we put those cameras up that talk to you and they say smile, that went away quick.
Could you imagine if there was like a train horn? That would be great. The neighbors would hate us though.
How about like an AK-47?
There you go.
Make them drop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I would love the video footage on that. I would post it on all the social medias of just people dropping.
Where I'm having a problem is right next to a cemetery. So I'm all for somebody getting on the roof and just take them out right there. They can just lay there.
Jeez, this turned dark real quick.
Well, it is. We're getting close to Halloween now, you know, so.
True.
So it is socially acceptable currently.
I wouldn't go that far, but.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, Jim, I gotta go. I'm probably going to Maine in early November to do a consulting for a guy that's got 7 stores up there. That we were looking at stuff, and same thing, that managers are not logging it down. I'm like, dude, turn off the moving button in SiteLink. And he goes, well, but I'm like, no, well, they won't like it. I'm like, you will.
Yeah. What were they doing?
They're not logging in leads.
Oh, leads. Yeah.
So I think we're going to go up and have a conversation and just kind of educate, you know, the value, and get to see Maine in November. As long as there's no snow on the ground, I'll be okay.
I've never been. I don't make it up to that area. Pennsylvania. I've never been there either.
Told you, come out. We'll go to Gettysburg. Have fun.
Gettysburg is fun.
Gettysburg's got history beyond belief. We'll take you on a ghost tour of Gettysburg. They're pretty cool.
There we go. Okay. We'll bring it back to Halloween here. All right, guys. I'm going to go gargle some salt water and save my voice for the rest of the day.
Feel better.
Yeah, I'm all good. And
I got a question, Jennifer. That $25 late fee sign behind you, is that state specific? Is that true? What state's $25? Because I don't know any states that's $25.
I'm in Texas, so I don't know.
No, Texas is not $25. It's $20 or 20%, whatever's greater.
Oh, okay. I'll bring it up to my regional manager.
I'm just curious, because I saw 25 and I didn't know any state that had $25.
So it's $20 or 20%?
Well, Texas is $20 or 20%, whatever's greater, as long as your lease says that.
Okay. Because on our lease, it does state $25 late fee. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely check that, because that's not TSSA specific on the lien laws.
Okay. Okay.
Just thought I'd share.
Again, when is isn't there a state show like a week or two?
It's in Austin in the end of October. I'm speaking.
Oh, Mr. Speaking, you're on the speaking tour going. It's awesome.
It's fun.
Uh,
I missed Tennessee had theirs last week in Murfreesboro. I was going to go, but I couldn't get there.
yeah. What are you speaking on this time in Texas?
Texas, we're doing a day in the life of the manager.
Oh, it's that one. Okay.
So that one.
I was thinking that was another. So you
No, the other one is.
get them all mixed up.
Yeah, well, we had a couple sessions we're working through right now. So, but that's the one they asked for. So it's kind of cool when they come say, "Hey, the one you did over there, we want." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, just real quick, just as a raise your hand or something like that. Like the AI thing I did, would you guys like if I just did like a full hour like on AI crap like that? Okay. Don't shake your head. All right. You don't have to come. All right. But
And Olivia, you got to get us an answer on your updating your traffic. So we want to see that.
got together. Okay. All right. Let's
All right,
wrap
guys.
this up.
Thanks.
We're good. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We'll do it here and we'll blink. It'll be 2 weeks again. So we'll see you
Later.
next time. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Guys.